He's a nationally known best-selling author all over the world, and he is a friend of the foundation. He's a big player in the foundation. He's been so helpful in helping us create. The foundation actually took us about 3.5 years to build, the website, testing it and getting it up and getting all these wonderful classes on there at the expense of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's supported by best-selling authors, educators, and entrepreneurs. And Kurt is definitely one of the huge people that has made a huge difference in the foundation's life. So I want to thank him for making such a huge difference. And we're going to bring Kurt on. Kurt, if you're in the house, let's go with you and let's talk a little bit about the millionaire psychology. How do you think? How do you make things work?
All right, welcome back. Success and Money Live. You're at the right place at the right time, learning the right skills to make your life right, to change those habits, to change the skills, to become better. Pat yourself on the back for being here. What great resources. Give a shout out for Tom for creating this, for making this for you. You get paid to learn wealth principles, life principles, success principles. It doesn't get better than that. You get paid to tell your friends and help your friends change your life. You better be telling your friends. You better be working through the system and using that affiliate program, because that's what makes the difference. That's what you can do. So you're not only learning the wealth, sharing the wealth, share the lessons. It makes a huge difference. But again, thanks for being here. These are things that'll make a big difference in your life and other people's lives. So let's get into millionaire psychology number 8. Let's talk about happiness. It's all about happiness, enjoying life, finding joy, finding that smile. Remember what we talked about before, that money makes you more of what you already are. So as you are on this journey to wealth and success, you have to be happy now on the journey, because when you get there, it's not going to make you happy. Well, money doesn't buy happiness. Well, we can talk about that. It sure helps in a lot of areas. But again, the time to be happy, to be balanced is now. That's what I want to focus on, because we have to enjoy this journey. We have to enjoy it now, not I'll be happy when, and that's not fair. That's not fair that it happened to me. Why did it happen to me? I mean, life beats us up. We have challenges, but you can still find that core happiness no matter what's going on in your life. You can find some inner peace, some joy. You might not find all the answers why bad things happen to good people. It just doesn't matter, but you have to look at it in a different way. Let me give you an example. So I grew up in California. Both my parents are educators, so my whole life, go to college. And I did. And then I was like, maybe a little more college. And so I decided to work on a graduate degree in business, thinking, that would help me out. So I moved from California to Pennsylvania. That's a long ways away. And I started working on this college degree. And I was meeting some good people, learning some good things. And about 2/3 of the way through, I got a note that my guidance counselor wanted to see me. Guidance counselor? Didn't know I had one. Must be something good, scholarship, money, something, an award. So I knocked on the door. He looked at me, looked down. He says, "Are you Kurt Mortensen?" I said, "Yes." He says, "What's wrong with you?" Excuse me? So what's wrong with you? You're the only person in your whole class that hasn't interviewed with a large corporation. What is wrong with you? So at the time was the high-tech revolution. Technology, internet, web, things were going crazy, and my heart was telling me I wanted to work for a small startup, build from the ground floor, wear a lot of different hats, learn a lot of great skills. I was all about it. I was excited. And I made my case. He's, "Oh, that's stupid. You were raised better than that." So I left with my head spinning, and I called my friends, and of course they're worst. They're always the first ones to spin on your dreams. But hey, I did graduate, and I was approached by a venture capitalist to do what I wanted. Start this high-tech company, ground floor, lots of hats. They weren't going to pay me about 1/3 of my friends were going to get these large companies, but it didn't matter. So what I wanted to do was exciting. And of course, they gave me all these stock options. So I'd be okay in the future. I'd be okay. So I started working, and I was doing it and making things happen, and it was fun. I was enjoying it. And about at the 1.5 year mark, they had run out of money. But I still wanted to work there. We were getting closer to get this tech done. And so I was cleaning office buildings at night to work there. I was paying to work there, but it didn't matter. They gave me more stock options, and they kept piling up. Over 1 million shares in stock options. I'm thinking early retirement. 2-year mark, I got married. About 2.5 year mark, I noticed a large knife in my back. as they bankrupted this company. We were so close. We saw the light at the end of the tunnel, but they decided to bankrupt this company and take the technology to another company. So not only did I lose my job, but I lost all those stock options. So let's do the math on that, a zero. So here it is, one of the lowest points of my life. Universe had kicked me in the head, left me for dead, $100,000 in debt. Recently married, what do you do? And of course, a phone call from your friends, told you so, stupid. I'm like, okay. And then I did something I don't wish upon anybody. I moved from Pennsylvania to Seattle, Washington, in with my new in-laws. So here's my father-in-law, PhD in the private sector, bright guy. He's like, all right, I know people at Boeing Airlines and Microsoft Software and T-Mobile cell phones, and we're just going through the different things. I'm like, no thanks, I'll find my way. Which quickly labeled me a loser. Pulling my wife aside, you can get out of this thing. We're still married, by the way. But you know what? Fast forward. I've paid off that debt. I have found my way. And I look at that experience, that crucible, that big piece of humble pie. It was hard. It was one of the toughest things I've ever gone through. But when I went through that, I still maintained my happiness, my vision, my future. But here's the key. Here's the thing I learned. And we all go through these. It's not just me. We all have these crucibles, these defining moments in our life. But here's a question you ask yourself. Did this experience make you a better person or a bitter person? Did it make you grow and learn and become better, or just give you constant grief and fear of failure? Did it make you the victim or give you victory? That's the key. That's the defining moment. As you go through this, maintain your happiness, maintain your balance, maintain your viewpoint. No, this happens to all of us. Do I know why? I don't. But that experience, although very expensive, has been priceless to me because it taught me the desire, drive, motivation, the things that I needed to learn at that point in my life to take my life and my income to the next level. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying we can maintain some happiness. I know life's tough. I know life beats you up. I know you're going through hard things, but you still have to move forward. You still have to learn from it and learn. We've talked about this. Just because you fail, it doesn't make you a failure. It's just a learning experience to become better, not bitter. So let's get into and review last week about balance, because that's one of the biggest causes of unhappiness, and talk about the things that can make a big difference in your life, your future, your motivation, your fuel to success, and your ability to become financially independent. So as we dive into this Millionaire Psychology number 8, there's no speed limit. You can increase your speed. You can do things better. So last week, we talked about that alignment, that life alignment, the alignment of your tires. When you start wobbling at 50 miles an hour, you can't go very fast. That slows you down. You chose your weak link. And the reason I bring it up is A, you need to make sure you did that homework. And B, we know this can trigger unhappiness. This can throw your life out of whack, out of balance. It's not equal time and equal area, but you need to address all areas. I would say every day, worst case scenario, every week. So let's enjoy the journey, right? Let's have that reset button. I'm going to use the happy button, that smile, push the button. Remember, money makes you more of what you already are. Let's enjoy the journey now, not when I have, when I get, when I make my million, when I retire, that doesn't do it. People are happier planning their vacation than on their vacation. No, you've got to plan it. That was one of the big challenges with the astronauts. They went to the moon, they got back, they got depressed because what's next? So you have to have bigger goals, enjoy the journey. What's the next step? You're never arriving, you're always improving, you're always growing. That's the key. We're doing it now, so when we have success, it amplifies that happiness. Because again, it can help you when you can pay the bills, you're giving to a charity, you're changing the world, you don't have to worry about retirement, you're helping your children's future. That can increase happiness a little bit. We've focused on that. That is what we want to do. And part of that is cultivating your sense of humor. Learn to laugh. Learn to laugh at yourself. You're going to make mistakes, embarrassing moments. Whatever it is, you can laugh at yourself. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. That's how it is. There's no perfect journey. I'm a public speaker. I make mistakes. You just have to laugh it off. I remember giving a presentation, 1,000 people. I was a motivational speaker. Lights are on, cameras are rolling, and when the lights are on, you can't see the end of the stage, and I fell off. Yep, on my back. Person in the front row kept motioning with their fingers in a vertical fashion, and yep, my zipper was down, way down. Yep. 7 hours and 8 hour presentation. I took a drink, went down the wrong pipe, sprayed the front row. I've tripped on the way to the lectern. I've gone to the wrong room, thought I was speaking. Even worse, they put on the wireless mic, and I thought, okay, I've got a few moments to go to the restroom. And of course, the mic was live. They all heard the. It's always fun to go in a room. They're like, we know what you did. So we'll make mistakes, roll with it, have fun with it. And that laughing not only increases your health, it stimulates endorphins, it improves relationships. You get other people to laugh, they like you more. It releases oxytocin, that trust chemical. They trust you more, they like you more. I can give you 101 reasons why this is so important for you to do, especially now in the world. So many things happening. A little laugh, a little smile, a little chuckle, a little something, something. Don't be Aunt Edna, people that suck the life out of you. We have enough of those negative, pessimistic people. Don't be one of those. Let's enjoy the journey now and have that sense of humor. Part of that is just realizing a smile. A smile is contagious. Even a fake smile can be contagious and can change the game. All right, let's do a little exercise. All right, no one's around. Hopefully no one's looking. For 3 seconds, smile as big as you can. You ready? Big as you can. Ready, go. Come on, bigger. Show me some teeth. Give me some smile. Come on, a little bit more, as big as you can. Make it hurt. All right. It was an exercise. But did you feel the difference it made inside? Got a little chuckle, a little smile, a little happy, releases some endorphins, some chemicals. That's the key. So if you're not feeling it, maybe just lock yourself in a closet, give yourself a big smile, whatever you need to do, those victory poses, whatever it is, to release the chemicals to get you on the right path. Now, part of this is that you need to define what happiness means to you, not society. Society will define happiness as, a big house, a big car, money in the bank, this and that. If that's what you want and that makes you happy, go for it. I'm just saying maybe it doesn't. Remember we've talked about not to rent your dreams, rent your goals, own them. What is it that you really want? Again, we don't want to play the game as I'll be happy when I graduate, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I have the perfect spouse, I have the money, I'm healthier, my business is successful. We're not playing that game. How do you define happiness? What is it for you? I've had some people that just want to live in a nice neighborhood with a nice house that was paid for, be a multimillionaire, but nobody knows. Right? They just seem like an average person in an average house with an average car, and they're building a charity, and they're traveling, do what they want to do. That was their happiness. And that's fine. Hey, if you want the big car, the big house, go for it. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, is that really what you want? That's how society defines it. But what do you really want? What is really going to make you happy? And I bet a lot of that's going to be relationships and family. A lot of that's going to be service, giving back, charity. You decide, you create that game plan. So what is your definition of happiness? For you, how do you define happiness? What is it you're really trying to achieve and get to? I want you to think about that this week. What does happiness mean to you? And we've talked a lot about those external things, right? The house, the car, the money. But also you have to realize that for most, happiness comes from within. As you travel the world and you meet people in just dire circumstances and poverty, they seem to be a lot happier than the people that have a lot of possessions and things. Because happiness is internal. It comes from within. So you kind of have to hit that reset button and figure out, okay, I got to be happy with myself. I have to be congruent. I have to learn to keep my goals and exercise my willpower and stay on track. That's the first thing. Sure, a big house will give you temporary happiness, but most long-term happiness, that joy, comes from within, knowing you're on the right track, doing what you need to do. You're good with yourself, you're good with your neighbors, you're good with your family, you're good with your spouse, you're good with your God, whatever it is. You need to be congruent in that area because most happiness comes from within. Again, we love the external things. They'll give you a little temporary boost in happiness, but it's the long-term what you want, and that comes from within. And I love what Ingrid Bergman says. Happiness is good health and a bad memory. Because Health is everything. We know that. But a bad memory is forgetting all the people that supposedly wronged you, that said something negative, that you're angry, that you're resenting. Remember that being resentful and angry at someone is like drinking poison yourself and hoping it hurts them. That's not how it works. So let's forget the wrongs. Let's forget the past. Let's learn and grow from them. Let's become better, not bitter. I don't know if I want to break this news to you. I don't know if you realize this or not, but you can't get out of life alive. Is that news to anybody? There's no resets. There's no takeovers. This is it. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's go. Let's leave our mark. Let's become the person that we want to become. So happiness is internal. This is a choice. It's not an automatic response. It's your choice. Are you going to be offended? Are you going to take it personally? Are you going to run and hide? Are you going to make that failure a learning situation or something that just makes you feel like the victim instead of giving you victory? You get to choose. Enjoy life now. Don't wait for a future event. This is a choice. You got to get rid of the automatic responses that are pulling you down, that are sucking the life out of you. If you're quick to anger, to be offended, just smile and move on. And that's something that's helped me when people are very negative and pessimistic and mean. That's how they're feeling on the inside. That gives me a little sympathy to realize that they're having a hard time. They're going through something. They're just taking it out on me. So when people kick the dog, it's not the dog's fault. They're going through something. They're taking it out on the dog. They shouldn't. But some people do that. They're taking it out on you because they've had a bad day. They had a bad life. Sometimes they'll do it because you're achieving the things that they've always wanted. They've given up on their goals and their dreams, and they see you doing it. And either consciously or subconsciously, they're going to pull you down. They're going to suck the life out of you. They're going to tell you why it won't work. You just smile and watch me. Remember, we've talked about that success is your best revenge. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we want. So it's internal. How are you reacting to that frustration, the resentment, the blow to your self-esteem, the negative people, the grudges, the hurt feelings, the offensive, mean, negative, pessimistic people in your life? How are you reacting to that? Sure, it hurts. Sure, it's not fair. Sure, they shouldn't say that, but they did. Every millionaire has a list of people that told them they couldn't do it, that it was stupid, that it was dumb, that it wouldn't work out, that they weren't smart enough, they weren't educated enough, they weren't motivated enough. For some reason, that's part of the process. You have to be told you can't do it. It's almost like the universe is testing you to see if it's truly a real goal or desire. So a few roadblocks along the way, a few negative people, a few things that hurt your self-esteem, that's okay. That's part of the process. So why aren't we happy? So we talked about not having the balance. That could be one. Another big one is no meaningful goals. Well, I can't set goals. I might fail. But then you're a failure because you're not accomplishing anything. The happiest time in your life, you are pursuing a worthwhile, exciting goal. So set those big, exciting, wonderful goals that help you with your vision, your future, your motivation, your fuel. That's the key. It increases your happiness. Those with no goals that are accomplishing nothing, they're watching TV all day long, of course they're not happy. Part of that too is probably limiting your news, limiting the time you're around negative people. If you can, I know some of them are family. That's part of ways to increase your happiness. Another reason we're not happy is conflicting goals. I want you to think about this week. What are your conflicting goals? Because that's a big trigger for unhappiness. And just identifying. You might not have a perfect solution, but if you can identify them, that's going to really help you with your happiness, and you can come up with a game plan to fix those. So what are your conflicting goals? You want more free time, but this pursuit of financial independence is taking more time. You want to run a successful business, and that's taking a lot of time, and you want to be a successful parent and be there for your kids. That could be a conflicting goal. You have a goal to be spiritual and a goal to be wealthy. They really don't conflict, but they could conflict for you. So take a look. What are your conflicting goals? I know mine. I've always wanted to be a good parent there for my kids, but I want to be a successful business, and that has me travel the world sometimes. I could be gone a week at a time, and so I'm working on my business, one of my goals, but I'm not with my children, one of my goals. So just identifying that just kind of relieved a lot of tension and stress in my life. And I worked out some different things to where in the summertime I don't do that. When they're out of school and we're spending more time, more family vacations, a couple of things I've implemented. Not perfect, but I've identified it and I have a game plan to fix it, to improve it. What are your conflicting goals? Another big one is lack of purpose. What is your purpose? What is your passion? Your DNA coded for greatness. What is it that you need to change in the world? How are you going to make the world a better place? What's you going to say in your eulogy? We've talked about some of these things. What is your purpose? What is it that you want to accomplish? Because when you have that purpose, that passion, that desire, that drive, that burning desires Napoleon Hill talks about, it increases happiness. You're on track. You're doing you. You're being you. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that increases happiness. So think about those. Do you have meaningful goals? Are they conflicting? But let me reiterate it again. Happiness is internal. Let me give you a quote by Viktor Frankl. Have you ever read his book, Man's Search for Meaning? Powerful book. Why? Well, he was in the Jewish concentration camps, and he found happiness. He found peace in one of the worst places in the world. I mean, how do you do that? He said, happiness is a condition rather than a destination. Happiness cannot be pursued. The more we aim at happiness, the more we miss our aim. There's a reason for happiness. Happiness ensues. It is a side effect, here it is, of having a purpose and meaning to life. So enjoy it now. Don't wait for a future event. Fix the things in your life that can increase your happiness. Now, when he talks about happiness cannot be pursued, that means I'll be happy when I've achieved this, I've done this. You missed that mark. Having a purpose, a meaning, worthwhile, non-conflicting goals can make a huge difference. Your favorite time for the homework. So the very first question, we've talked about this. What two conflicting goals do you have? All right, let's find it, because that's a big cause of unhappiness. You want this, but you're doing this. And you might not have a perfect solution, but at least you've identified it and you're working towards that, and you can pick the one that's the most important to you. What two conflicting goals do you have? The next question is, how are you going to resolve it? How are you going to fix it? You've identified it. That's half the battle. It's causing tension in your life, maybe some unhappiness, some imbalance. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to fix it? What are you going to do? You have to enjoy the journey. That's part of the process. We get too stuck in comparing ourselves to other people, comparing our weaknesses to other people's strengths. It's not fair. Doesn't matter what's fair. Let's just deal with reality. Let me tell you a fable about the dog in his shadow. Right? This dog found this big piece of meat. It was so happy it found it. It was crossing the water, going to take it back to its house to enjoy this juicy piece of meat. And he crossing the river, going across the rocks. He looked down, and in the water he saw a dog with the bigger piece of meat. So he dropped his meat to attack this dog to get his meat, and then this meat sank to the bottom when he realized that it was his shadow in the water. Okay? So now he had no meat because he thought another dog had a bigger piece of meat, and that was the challenge. So don't be dissatisfied with what you have. Deal with the cards you were dealt. Move forward. Don't be dissatisfied because someone has something different, something more. Don't compare your strengths to other people's weaknesses. Enjoy the journey now. Find the balance now. Find the happiness now. Because remember, money makes you more of what you already are. So if you're miserable and unhappy now, money's just going to amplify that. But if you're happy, you're content, you can find joy, you can smile, you can count your blessings, you can see the little things in life that just make you smile, make you feel good. That's the key. Because part of our goal is to help other people feel good, to feel happier. That's what we need in the world right now. More happiness, more smile, more laughter. That's what we need. And we want you to share that, to be that, to do that. That is the key. So work on that happiness. You can be there. Doesn't matter where you're at. You can find a little contentment, a little joy. Might not be a 24-hour thing. A little contentment, a little joy, a little happiness, a little smile along the way will make a big difference in your success, your happiness, radiating that happiness and being able to go out and make the world a better place.
Thanks, Kurt. It's always wonderful to have Kurt's take on it. Millionaire psychology, it's how you think. You got to start working on your brain. Zig Ziglar would say it's stinking thinking. You got to get your brain thinking the right stuff. And if you can do that, your brain's going to follow, your body's going to follow what you come up with. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be right back, and we're going to give some money away. Again, you know, our purpose, mission number one is to give out financial rewards to students when they attend online classes like this class today. Come in live, be in our live classes. And once you do that, then of course our goal is to be able to get you some money into your vault. Once it gets into your vault, then you have an investment account open. We're going to send you our Berkshire Hathaway stock, our Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger stock. Why? Because that's the best place to start. That's the best place to start. If I can only give you one stock, that would be it. Or the S&P 500. Both of them are very well. I like Berkshire better, but either one of them are great. So thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be right back in just a second. Make a difference, make it happen, and remember that every life